I'm standing here in Washington, D.C., and the difference is so stark. America's founding document promises life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Iran's founding document pledges death, tyranny, and the pursuit of jihad. And as states are collapsing across the Middle East, Iran is charging into the void to do just that.
And it makes you wonder, what is it about that Barack Obama doesn't understand? And folks, don't kid yourself, he understands. Joining us now is Charles Hoskinson, and he's senior writer for the Washington Examiner, former editor at Politico.com and AFP. Hello, Charles.
Hi, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Thanks for being here again. Okay, you wrote a great piece, which I think is a piece that needs to be addressed to put this whole thing into context. Obama's blind hostility towards Israel. This goes way back. To me, it goes back to probably his father, and it's definitely the people that we know he hung around with.
Well, it's actually a little closer to home. The president has two major foreign policy goals in the Middle East, the two that he laid out a couple of years ago at the United Nations. One is an Israeli-Palestinian peace treaty. The other is a nuclear deal with Iran. And he sees Benjamin Netanyahu and his government as major obstacles to both. So that's
and he sees them, because they are. I mean, maybe the Labor Party, if they, God forbid, took control of Israel, would acquiesce to some kind of crazy deal with the Palestinians, where they go back to the pre-67 borders. But you're right, Netanyahu will never do that, and it's the people of Israel who don't trust Obama. The polls show 75% don't trust Obama's intentions towards the United States, towards Israel, and I think rightfully so.
Right. Well, it's one of the fundamental causes of this bad relationship that we have between the two leaders. But keep in mind that this is a relationship between the two leaders. It's not a relationship between the two countries. And this is why Benjamin Netanyahu is so dangerous for Obama. I mean, you have someone who's respected by Americans, who's got a point of view towards Iran that most Americans agree with. Most Americans are skeptical, to say the least, of Iran, skeptical of the ability to trust Iran. Most members of Congress are skeptical of Iran. And so therefore, for him to come to Congress and to speak about Iran is really dangerous to a major foreign policy goal of the Obama administration.
Absolutely. All right. So, I mean, there's no hope of this changing within the next 2 years. In fact, things could only get worse, in my opinion. And I'm pretty sure that the United States would find some way to work out a deal with Iran. And if they don't, they will find a way to blame Israel. I'm sure they will. And if they do, and Israel has to act in their own self-defense, according to their own beliefs, he will definitely label Israel as, an alien force who ruined his peace deal, and try to isolate them from the world and try to impose sanctions upon them. Do you see that either one of those scenarios as realistic?
Well, Obama can certainly blame Israel, blame Netanyahu for the problems he has, but they're of his own making. He's got a bigger problem than the Israelis, who pretty much don't care. They're going to do what they need to do for their security and not care what the Obama administration says. His problem is with Congress. The administration has been stonewalling Congress on this deal, and they really haven't done much of anything to soothe congressional skepticism over what they hear is on the table, what the administration is negotiating. They've said point blank that they're not going to submit the deal for congressional approval, which is not something that people who are elected in their own right as a co-equal branch of government really want to hear. These problems, they can blame Israel for that, but these problems weren't made by Israel. Netanyahu coming here to speak did not cause the Obama administration's problems with Congress. It's just a symbol of those problems.
Absolutely. All right, Charles, great to talk to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
All right, my pleasure. All right, folks, very interesting. And we will see how the highly anticipated and overwhelmingly, I believe, successful speech of Benjamin Netanyahu, how or if it affected the markets Recall yesterday Dow closed over 5,000. I'm sorry, NASDAQ closed over 5,000. Dow set a new record. I don't think the numbers are as good today, so we'll check them out with Rob Williams next. Don't go away.